Yes, welcome back. And now we're moving into a conversation we said is quite compelling. Just a few days ago, we were informed that on Thursday, the 25th of September, a child, a 4-year-old boy called Omonigo Abraham, was attacked by two vicious dogs, and they mauled him. He was nearly dead by the time the dogs were through with him. They practically, it's a gory detail that I think it's probably going to be better for me to let the father of this child, Omonigo Abraham, to talk about it himself. I find it's a really disturbing story when I first heard it. So let me introduce Mr. Abraham Odia. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You must have a lot of strength to be able to still talk about what you saw happen to your son. Now, tell us, what really happened on the day?
Yeah, I have to first thank everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate the governor, the good Nigerians, Mr. Nuhu Kwajifa, Global Initiative Peace and Cares, Ms. Stella. I'm just trying to thank them and thank God Almighty. Be support of my son being alive today. That's why he's still in the hospital. That incident happened on the 25th. I was about to travel when my wife called me that I should meet them at General Hospital, Egondo. I said, what happened? He said she can't explain what has happened. I said, okay. Then I stopped and I ran that to Egondo. Getting there, I saw my son was being wrapped up head with bandage and it was on oxygen. I asked the doctor what happened. He said I should hold on. A few minutes, the doctor called me and said no, that he can't handle it any longer, that they should take him to General Hospital, Lasuti Keja. They called an ambulance. Then about 2:12, the ambulance came. We went to General Hospital Keja, so we were being put in an emergency ward. The first doctor that came that removed the bandage on his head ran away. When he saw the skull was just be open, no flesh on it any longer. He couldn't stand it. Everybody burst to cry. And nobody could stand it until the man came. The doctor said, okay, let someone call it. They remove everything. They said, So after some days, the nurse said, okay, that the boy should be taken to bones and plastic ward. So they now move us to bone and plastic ward when he's taking his treatment. Then I found that I was alone, spending all this money, buying other things and all.
Before we get to that one, let's look at the story chronologically. Before you even got to the hospital, tell us what you were told happened to this little boy.
They said they came down from, the boy said he wanted to eat biscuits. The mother came down from down to go and get them biscuits. So the children said, okay, let them go down to play as they normally do every evening. We don't have light because I live up flat when the landlord lived down flat. Immediately they came down from the story building down to play from the ground floor. The dog just heard them playing. There's a runner from the cage. The two dogs. So the 14 years.
The gate of the dog's kennel, was it normally locked?
Normally, I would do talk to the landlord, please, you know children are here. You know this dog that you have right now, there was one there that was being trained from puppy to the stage. It is right now, that one knows us. Then after some days, he went to go and bring another wide one, which we don't know anybody. Right from the very first day he came with that dog, we called and said, please, we don't need this kind of dog here. You know children are in this compound. You know, as a landlord of the house, just shuns everybody up, say, we should forget about that kind of nonsense we are saying. We say, okay. All we are saying is that, you know, there's children here, but we don't have anything, we don't want anything to happen to our children because, you know, they normally come down to play. So he didn't mind us. So when those dogs now attacking, so the other of his brother wanted to help the boy. So the dogs jump on them. So those two boys leave their junior ones and ran to the up. So the dog from ground stair run after the boy, just start biting him till he run to the door and start banging the door. So as the senior ones open the door for the little boy, he wants us to enter. So the two dogs jump inside the house. So the other two boys now have to run to the balcony and jump from story building down when the other one have a broken leg, the 7-year-old boy. So this little 4-year-old boy could not jump. So the dog now attacked him there. I drag him to the floor in my sitting room. Then they start pulling up his head. So they now call the mother, say, come over, something is happening in your flat. When those children were shouting, crying, my brother is upstairs eaten by dog. The people, the community, they came out with their sticks and all. They now closed the gate. So a lecturer opposite my house said, no, they should allow the police. They called the police people, they came, 7 of them, waiting for rescue, nothing. My wife now called one of them, said, please, why don't you follow me? Let's go in so that we can shoot the dog and let people. The statement that come out from the mass mouth was, is it the one to die? Don't you see how wide those dog is?
Who is this person that said
that? The police people.
The policemen were even afraid of the dog. They don't want to die. They were so afraid of the dog.
That is what comes out from one of the policeman's mouth. Then that was where my wife, someone called and said, okay, as far as there's nobody to rescue his son, let him go in and let the dog eat both of them. That he can stand watch his son be eaten by a dog right here when nobody want to help. Then the gate, they were not blocked and they closed that nobody should go in. They do my run into the house. As he get to the floor, he saw that the son was being loud and being pulled off from my son was just being eaten like if they're eating the dead meat. Then he shouted, screamed. So the first dog that know her look at, turned his face, he saw my wife, then he ran away. The second
where was the owner of the dog at this point?
This point, the owner of the dog has opened the cage and went out.
He was in the premises at the time this was happening, but he went out.
Yes, and he didn't come to call his dogs to order.
Then they were not asking where is the owner. They said the person went out. Then my wife went in and saw my son lie down, be eaten by dog. So the second one, he screamed and shouted again. The second one that they just brought news that we don't know, ran out from the house. Then she started crying and said that my son is dead. So as he was shouting, say my son is dead, that was where my son heard the mother's voice. He now said, mommy, please, I need water. Wow. Then my wife now picked up the child and ran from downstairs up, running. Everybody was still there, nobody there, until back man come across her. I pick her straight to the first